Here we go now. Welcome to another edition of GNB Quickies for Thursday, the 20th day of the month. And the NBA is back tonight, and this makes me very, very excited because I got my ass handed to me in college hoops last night. So I have my three favorite picks of the day for the NBA, and then Ian and Ninja will be by with their favorite picks for their favorite sports to handicap. So let's get right into the action where we're going to start things off. In Detroit, we have the Bucks in town. As a big favorite, I am not scared of the big number. I like Milwaukee to cover. Here's why. I've had this one circled for a while due to an absolute tear the Bucks had been on versus the Pistons, posting 10 straight wins with an average win margin of 19.2. As you might recall, the Bucks are coming off a loss in their most recent game versus the Pacers, and this has been a big money spot for them. They are 23-6-1 ATS following a regular season loss since the beginning of last season. And this might be the biggest mismatch you can find in the NBA right now. The Bucks are arguably the best offense in the league, while Detroit has been a disaster. Over the last 10 games, they rank 28th in both effective field goal percentage and free throw rate, while ranking 29th in points per 100 possessions. So give me the Bucks to cover the spread tonight in Detroit. Next up, we are going to Philadelphia. We have the Nets in town as an underdog. I think they are too big of an underdog tonight, so I am taking the Nets to cover the spread versus the Sixers. Here's why. I think this is too many points to give a Nets team that ranks first in points allowed over the last 10 games. They also rank fourth in opponent effective field goal percentage, which matches up with the Sixers, who are struggling to shoot the ball, ranking 25th in EFG over the last 10. As a result, the Sixers are 26 in points per 100 possessions in the span, compared with the Nets, who are third. Brooklyn is also playing very disciplined basketball at the moment, holding opponents to the fifth fewest free throw attempts over the last 10 games. Philly, meanwhile, ranks 25th in this category. Way too many edges for the Nets in this one. Give me them to cover tonight in Philadelphia. Okay, and we will wrap things up on the West Coast, where the Grizzlies are in Sacramento. The Kings have a team total set at 114.5, and I am going under. Let's get into it. A big part of the Grizzlies' turnaround this season is due to a defense that's been coming on strong recently. They rank first in opponent effective field goal percentage over the last 10 games, while also ranking second in points allowed in this span at 107.3. This number seems a few buckets high considering the Kings have gone under 114.5 in 12 of their last 16. They also rank 25th in points per game at home with just 107.7. And Memphis won't make it easy to score in close, where they rank 6th in points allowed in the paint over their last 10. This matters because the Kings struggle in the paint, ranking 22nd in this category on offense over the last 10. So give me the Kings to go under their team total tonight in Sacramento. That's it for me. Good luck. And as always, keep chasing that paper. Woo!
Thanks, Joe. You jackass. Now, my best college basketball bet for tonight's action is going to be in the big game between Ohio State and Iowa, featured by my boy, Luka Garza. I'm going to be taking the under 144. A big reason why I'm going to be taking the under is because Ohio State's offensive numbers on the road have been poor, to say the least. They are scoring 76.2 points per game at home, but that drops all the way down to 65.5 points on the road. Their floor percentage also drops from 51.6% down to 43.7%. But Ohio State does have a pretty good defense. They rank 13th in opponent floor percentage, 11th in opponent field goal percentage. Meanwhile, I just mentioned about how bad Ohio State's offense gets on the road, while Iowa's defense gets much better at home. They're allowing almost 10 fewer points at home compared to on the road, so that 76.6 opponent points per game on the road, that drops down to 66.8 opponent points per game at home. Now, there hasn't been 144 points scored in an Ohio State game since January 18th against Penn State. A big part of that is probably because Ohio State is 319th in field goals attempted per game and 303rd in possessions per game. So they play a very slow pace. I think this is just way too many points. Give me the under 144 tonight between Ohio State and Iowa. Now, Champions League happened the past 2 days. Thursday means Europa League's back in action, so here is Ninja with his best bet for today's Europa League.
What is up, everybody? Yeah, the Europa League knockout stages kick off today here. We had Champions League Tuesday. And Wednesday, of course, I went 2-1 with my 3 picks on Guys and Bets yesterday. Easy hits with Atalanta over 2 and the under 4 in Man City, West Ham. Decent-ish games in the Europa League today, about what you'd expect at this stage of that competition. But one game in particular sticks out. It is over in Germany. It is Bayer Leverkusen hosting Porto. And I'm going to go Leverkusen over 1.5 goals in this one. And here's why. On a bit of a tear of late, especially since that long winter break over there in Germany. They won 5 of 6 since that break in all competitions, it should be noted, and have scored 15 goals in their last 5 league games, and another pair of goals in that Pokal game against Stuttgart. And a big reason for this decent run of form has been the excellent Kai Havertz. The Leverkusen playmaker has 3 goals and 1 assist since that break, and put in a pretty stellar performance for Leverkusen last weekend in a 3-2 road win. Now, this Leverkusen squad loaded with really solid players: Bellarabi, Diaby, Aranguiz, Leon Bailey, Lucas Olario. So by no means is this team devoid of attacking threat. Now, Porto, no question, a solid defensive team, but pretty leaky at the back in the group stage here. After being bounced by Krasnodar in the Champions League qualifiers, they lost 2 road games in the Europa League group stage and conceded 5 goals in all 3 road games in that group stage, allowing both Feyenoord and Rangers to hit the back of the net twice. All in all, could be one of the better games of the day here, and some decent value on an attack-minded team to score twice at home in Germany. So there you go, 3 NBA picks from Joe, college hoops from Ian, and a little Europa League pick from myself here. Whatever you folks do with your bets, best of luck. And don't forget to join us tomorrow, Friday, for the live show, Guys and Bets, noon in the East, 9 a.m. in the West. And we, of course, will be joined by Harry Gagnon, who will make an XFL pick for the weekend. We will see you then. Thanks for watching.